Hi YouTube, this is Sister on a Mission, and I am your Sunday vlogger.
100 pounds.
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 I want to
Lose these
100 pounds to have a long and happy career and feel sexy again.
So that I don't die young.
That I can gain my life back.
so I can be the active father and husband that I've always wanted to be.
So I can walk pain-free, to come off all medications, and to live my life to the fullest.
So I can live a happy, healthy, and long life.
so I can look and feel healthy and beautiful.
Hey YouTube, this is Sister on a Mission, and today's topic is what was your aha moment? And like my fellow vloggers here, it wasn't just one aha moment for me, it was more like a series of aha moments, but I just want to talk about one for today. A little over 6 years ago, my husband and I were in a women's clothing store, and I was trying on a few outfits, and nothing looked right on me. I didn't like how anything felt. I just didn't get a feeling like, oh, I could really work this outfit. So as I was putting my clothes back on, I just happened to look into the mirror. And for a few seconds, I didn't recognize myself. I was absolutely devastated, horrified. I could not believe what I had become. I thought to myself, what in the world has happened? How in the world did you allow yourself to become this hideous creature, this morbidly obese, ugly, just a horrible, should be ashamed to be seen in public? How did you allow this to happen? And I'm telling y'all, I burst into tears. And I don't have a cute cry. I cried so till my husband could hear me. He said, babe, what's the matter? What's going on? Is somebody bothering you? I mean, he was on his way in there. And the sales lady came over. She says, ma'am, are you okay? And I could barely pull myself together. It was all I could do just to get out of there. So after that happened, I just began to withdraw. Just withdraw from life. I was very active in my church. I was on the greeters committee. I was over one ministry. I was very active in outreach ministry. Outreach ministry is my heart. I had stopped going to the women's shelter. I had stopped everything. I just began to withdraw. I didn't want to be seen. I felt like that if I could just blend into the scenery, I'd be very happy. I only went out when it was absolutely necessary, and I could not make an excuse not to go out. I felt like that I was an embarrassment to my husband and my children. They never made me feel like that, but that is where I was at. I stopped hanging out with my girlfriends. Just began to withdraw. I began to live my life through my husband and my children. Couldn't wait for my husband to get home so he could tell me how his day went at work. Same thing with my children. How was school, what happened in school, this and that and the other. But in the same token, I would not go to their school plays. I would not go to see their performances. I always could come up with an excuse not to go. Just because I was an embarrassment. So I felt like I was an embarrassment to them. I didn't want them to be embarrassed by me. And believe me, my children, my husband never made me feel that way. But that is where I was at. That was a very, very painful time in my life. I forgot Sistah. I, went from loving to shop, like to keep up with fashion, had my own style, but I like to keep up with fashion. I consider myself a girly girl. All of that went out the window. It's like I just wanted to blend in to the scenery. Just if you could just walk by me and not see me, that would have been fine for me. It was a terrible, horrible place, but that was definitely one of my aha moments. What I think is, I don't know why different people go through different things, but I know that there's a reason. I don't know the reason, but I know that there is a reason somewhere in there. But I do know that, I'm trying to say this without being preachy, that when we have these feelings of unworthiness, or we feel like we're ugly or too fat to be loved or things of that nature, I know that it is a trick of the enemy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be preachy. And that I believe that we should try our best to seek out help. If it's professional help, see a psychiatrist, see a therapist, see a psychologist, if at all possible. If you can't do that, talk to your spiritual leader, talk to your girlfriends, your husband, your spouses, your significant others. Get involved in some type of support group. Start your own support group. And then one thing I do know is that when you begin to talk to others and you're honest with others, you'll find out that you're not alone. And that is what the enemy wants us to think and believe, that we're not alone. I mean, that we are alone and that we are unworthy because we're so fat that we've allowed this to happen. But that's a lie. I know people that have lost well over 100 pounds and one person that has lost 200 pounds. And they have said to me, I thought I would be happy once I lost the weight. So that made me realize that, one, I have to be happy with myself first. Happiness is not necessarily a size or a shape. It is what is on the inside of us. And for everything that I went through over 6 years ago, if you would have told me then that today I'd be sitting up here making a video, asked to participate on the 700 Pounds collaboration channel, I never would have believed it. If you would have told me then that the subject would be, what was your aha moment, and that I can now look back and smile and realize that even though I'm still over 350 pounds, that I'm a good person. I am worthy of love, of being loved and loving somebody. I am worthy to look, and it's okay for me to look in the mirror and know that I am beautiful. Know that I am uniquely made. There's not another one nowhere on this planet like me. And I can sit here and tell somebody that I went through it. And if you're right there in this moment in your life at this particular time, hang on in there. Because if I went through it, I know you can go through it. You can make it. And you can do it. But you got to learn to love and accept who you are. Of course, everybody, regardless of your size, can always find areas in our lives that we need to work on and improve. But I think the main thing is that we have to learn how to love and appreciate ourselves. Because we are uniquely made. We're individuals. So that was my aha moment. And I do want to encourage you. If there are any of my full-figured brothers and sisters out there that's feeling bad or may have experienced some of what I was talking about or some of what the other vloggers have talked about, know that you can make it. Know that you are worthy. And know that you're never alone.